Alright, now we go on to this flag. Grit! Grit! Where's Grit? Easy there. I heard you the first time, old bearded one. Bearded one? Why you? A slip of the tongue. My apologies, Commander. Enough! Just get ready to move out. Now listen. OnStar forces deployed where I anticipated. Their commanding officer is an untested youngster, but he's not alone. He is working with an advisor, so don't let your guard down. Our contingent in the area has some indirect combat units for you to use. Now get moving, Mr. Sharpshooter. What? You really want me to go personally? Like in person? Why, you lazy no good! What do you think a commanding officer does? If you don't get moving... Alright, keep your beard on. I don't like the idea, but I'm going. Go at last. He's an impudent rogue, but he's also the best marksman I've ever seen. The OnStar fools never know what hit them. Perfect! Yeah! Okay, here I go. Alright, we're on mission 2. Gunfighter. This is one of the more ridiculous ones. Hey, Andy! Can you hear me? What's up? You've been given the authority to use bases to deploy new units on the field. You haven't received instructions on how to do this, but you're up to speed, right, Andy? Oh my. Well, let's go through it again. First, we place a cursor on the base and press the button. A list of units will then be displayed. Use the control pad to scroll down through the list and press A on the selected unit you want to deploy. Units you cannot afford will appear gray, don't forget that. Each day you'll receive funds from all the bases you hold. You'll have to make do with that amount. Remember, you can't deploy new units and move them on the same turn. If you got all that, good luck. Alright. I actually thought there was more up there than just those 2 infantry units. But you still want to do what you can to get the cities up here because that's crucial. Alright, we're gonna come over here, start capturing this. But if you leave it alone, this guy's gonna come in and start blasting. Also, with Grit, you want to be wary of this. His long-range units have a longer range than normal. Like, his artillery have a 3 space from 2 to 4. Yeah, 2 to 4 instead of 2 to 3 like Andy, or pretty much any other co. But the best place to put your tank is right here. Reason for that is it stops this. It's also out of range for this guy. Alright, you want to also put some protection for your tank because it's going to take such a pretty hard hit, so you want to back it up. Alright, this is the part where she talks about it. This is your unit menu. It doesn't get any bigger than this, so you're going to have to make do with all these different units. It's still a pretty good variety, but being the first game, it does have a very small unit roster. It gets bigger with the sequels to the game, but we're not in those games, we're in the very first one, so we'll make do with these. First, I'm going to build another tank. Normally I wouldn't do this, but since this guy's going to get hit pretty hard, he's going to be pulling this tank up next turn, so you want to do what you can to help yourself out. And another tank will do that. Awesome speed. This area wasn't Blue Moon's to begin with. Blue Moon's just being greedy. That's what it is. Fighting for these These folks just doesn't sit well with me. I guess I'll just mosey on out there and see what happens. I gotta say, Grit's probably one of the coolest codes in the game. Just his pure attitude towards the entire thing is kind of funny. Alright. Did better than I thought. I thought he would put me down to a 5 or a 4. Alright. Andy! Pick up now! Yeah, no, we're here. What's going on? We learned that Grit's the opposing co. Grit's an indirect fire expert whose attack range is larger than normal. Plus his range is even bigger when he uses his co-power. Make sure you check Grit's attack range throughout the battle. Understood. Hey, no? How do you know so much about this guy? Well, we used to be, friends. That's all I had to tell you. Now out. Huh? Nella's sure in a hurry. I wonder what was wrong. Alright, we will fire upon Grit with our indirect units and actually destroy his tank, which is helpful. I actually thought he'd bring this out, but apparently he only does it when you're in attack range. What you want to do is also not only finish this up, you want to move your infantry up here and start capturing. Now, usually the nature that the opposing codes go for, and usually what you want to go for, is no matter what, continue to capture, just don't go over and start firing. This will, increasing the amount of properties you have, increases the amount of wealth you'll have. Putting an APC here, it's usually a good idea because you protect your HQ from being captured. If your HQ is captured, you automatically lose. Another way to lose is have all your units destroyed. It goes the same thing with your opponent. The only way that's different is during campaign missions when they say, oh, you need to do this certain thing. Alright, we're gonna come over here and deal some damage to his artillery. The reason for that is you want to get rid of Grit's long-range units ASAP. Okay, one last thing we're gonna do is build another infantry. We will end our turn. Okay. Cool, he did what I thought he would. He's gonna send that mech down towards my base, I believe. Well, that's why we bought the other tank. To deal with that. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought would happen. Well, we can go different ways to do it, but putting something here is a bad idea. Just saying. Unless you really want to ask for it. Smart idea for this is to have this guy attack the mech. Any unit on the river actually has no defense, unlike units on the plane. And a good idea for this is actually to move him back here. Why? Because this guy, or this guy, has dibs on knocking him out. A good idea would also be to move your tank here. Reason for that is it does keep him out of range. I may have screwed up a little bit there, but we can easily remedy that. But you want to make sure if your tank does get attacked, you can actually just repair it. Repairing occurs when you're on any one of your bases or cities, or even your HQ. But this does cost you some money when you repair. Alright, we can buy a rocket launcher, but that is not the smartest idea. Or is it? Actually, it is. We're gonna go with a rocket launcher. I'll show you why in my next turn. Alright. He comes in and attacks my infantry. I expected that. Alright. There's something else I want to show you. This actually, they teach you this in the tutorial, but I already did the tutorial beforehand, so you didn't have to go through that. If you have two damaged units that are of the exact same unit, like infantry, like I have here, you can move one on top of the other and do this join. Joining, actually, it joins both of their HP, their ammunition, and their fuel. Infantry don't really have, well, they do have fuel, but they don't have ammunition, because apparently they thought machine guns are infinite use, but whatever. I thought I should share that with you. Ah, man, I did that a little bit too fast. But we did get rid of that mech unit, which means one less infantry unit for my opponent. Alright, one good reason to have a rocket launcher is to deal with those annoying infantry. Okay. We'll gun this guy. And then gun this guy again. Okay, he's down to 1 health. Alright, I'm gonna put this infantry here, and I'm actually going to move in and just basically shoot the recon up. Alright, one thing you can actually do, I want to see if I want to check to see if he has his co-power. You can go to, just click anywhere that doesn't have a unit, intel, and then co, and you can look at the co's. They show, like, it's like, oh, his skills, no really weakness, ready to battle, distance weapons are have attack range, however direct units are weak in combat, and it shows their power. And it just kind of does a little funny thing here. Yeah, like he loves mechanics, but he hates waking up in the morning. Loves cats, hates rats, kind of thing. Kind of like a little fun thing. Fun fact about each of them. But this shows like the number of cities that one person has, how many neutral cities or bases. They call it bases, but it's basically property, how many properties are with each person, or if any of them are neutral. Shows all this other fun stuff for people. You can pause it and look at it if you actually want to. We're gonna actually go here and just destroy this recon so it doesn't have time to turn tail and run. I was actually checking to see if this rocket launcher would gain that extra length, that leg. Yeah. What I'm actually going to do is show you the defensive power of an APC. APCs can also supply other units, so if something's running low on ammunition, use an APC. They're always useful. Alright. I'm gonna need a lot of infantry to send them up there, so that's why I have that. APCs are actually pretty defensive most of the time. They're not as defensive as tanks, but they're better than recon. Okay. What you want to do here, in this case, is basically blow that up. Move in. And blow this guy completely so we can move in on the ever so pressing artillery unit that just happens to be sitting right beside us. And that fixed most of the problem, but not all of it. You may notice in my money I have 11,800 instead of something else, and a whole number. It's because my unit got repaired. It's kind of odd in how they use the money to repair. I really don't get how much it is used for each unit. I don't think it varies, but I may be wrong on that. Okay. What you want to do here is fire upon a weak unit. Why do you want to do that? You want to try to reduce as many units your opponent has. And it makes it easier when they have low health. And let's move over here and fire. Now the only infantry he's got left is that mech. Okay. Now we can look over here. He does have a medium tank. We probably need to build something to help us out with that. Artillery is a good thing. And we need basically something to draw it out, because it will move. If it can attack anything from here, it will move. So, recon, good cannon fodder for it. They're cheap, and they move very fast. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Except, only, I think, maybe one can shoot? Maybe two. Oh, gosh. I forget. It increases the range by 2, not by 1. So yes, he has 3 units that can shoot. This makes it a little bit more annoying. And they do so much more damage too. Gosh. Well, so much for the APC. It is out of commission. His rocket launchers are ridiculous when this happens. I keep thinking on the second one, the Black Hole Rises is the sequel to this. With his power, he only gets one range increase. See this? It almost covers. It covers pretty much half of the map. That's pretty ridiculous. Grit's kind of OP in this game, but apparently there is nothing that can be done about that. Alright, let's get rid of the mech, which helps out. You may have noticed, yes, that is 14, not 10. It goes by, I do believe I mentioned this in the last episode, but you can only capture equal to your infantry's health. Well, this is a problem. We'll have him retreat. See, actually, these guys are actually pretty good against artillery units. And they're quick and easy, and they're easy to drive in and drive out. I'm gonna put that there. Put this guy here. Run this guy in. Yeah. Alright, and we'll move this guy in, and build a tank, and we'll end turn here. He's probably going to be in one of those moments where he does whatever is in his range and that's it kind of thing. Which, in his case, is actually shooting that infantry unit. Yarg. Okay. I am not going to be disparaged. I will continue to capture it. Alright, we're gonna have an APC built. Keep the tank there. He needs to be repaired. Have all current units move in into a position that is necessary. Whoa. Well, that was close. Alright, let's move you here. Okay, and we're gonna move here. We're gonna continue to capture this. And I'll actually show you the joining mechanic. There you go. That's joining. That's seriously all it is. It just joins the two units together and they make a higher health unit. Okay, he has nothing in his range, so he's not going to do anything. Which leaves me open to do a whole lot. Alright, we will do this. Oh, well, but I have to wait another turn for that. Anyway, tank move in. We're gonna get the artillery to move in. Okay. We're gonna build a medium tank, actually. Because you never know what happens. Always need a backup plan. Okay. This day is gonna be mainly just trying to set up the entire thing against your opponent. Which is not too difficult, but hey. Work with what you got. Now, normally I would say don't do this, but to do that, but this guy is gonna get annoying if you don't do something. This is probably the best way to go about it. It'll leave it with 1 HP, which is basically useless. Okay, and we'll move in right there. How this is going to work out, I don't know. I'm just making this up. How about this? This shouldn't be too much longer. And for on-the-fly randomness, there's always a need of something random to happen. Okay. I kinda expected that one, but okay. I was kinda hoping the medium tank would do that, but I guess I was asking for too much. That was more expected. That's gonna hurt. Yeah. Okay. That's why it's a pain to fight this guy. Those darn long-range units. Alright, we heal our units. Not all of them needed it, but some of them did. Now we can actually capture faster. What? That's really nice. Alright, we're going to move here. Alright. A good idea for this, while it's still on its last leg, we're gonna let it just shoot away. Because it's going to get blown up next turn. We're gonna let this be there, and this be here. Move this guy here, and have him stay there. And move this guy right here. And just move in with the infantry. We'll wait. And see what he does. And he fires away at the recon, which I was kind of hoping he would do it on the tank. It's kind of like hit and miss with everything what you want to do with what actually happens. Yeah. But he didn't destroy the recon to destroy everything else, so that's a plus. Okay, now we can get rid of the medium tank this next turn. I'm not joking. Alright, but first, infantry movement. Because I will forget. That's why I usually do this at the beginning of the turn, but I haven't been doing that. Because these are smaller maps and they're easier to see everything. But when they get bigger, it becomes harder to remember everything you've done. You're like, did I do everything I need to do? Alright, We already knocked it down to 5, which is not bad. That's the job of the rocket launcher, to just make it suffer. Alright, artillery will just blow it up. That was the entire point, to do all of this nonsense. Just to get it blown up. Okay, we have our tanks take out most of his tank. I say most of it, but it just turns out to be like part of it. Good grief. And we're gonna fire on this guy. And it becomes a 4. Nice. Okay. We are going to move the Raycon over here and start shooting. It did 1 HP damage. That's good. That means instead of going to 6 next turn, it only goes to 5. Yeah. Which means it's easier to be destroyed next turn. Okay, let's have some fun, since let's just spend all our money on 2 medium tanks just for funsies, because we're gonna blow them up next turn. Either. As nasty as that is, it only works on one of his units, and he goes after something completely obvious. I knew he was going to do that. He should have been going off after my long-range unit, but no, he didn't. Or could he? No, he actually could have, because he fired at my recon the turn before this turn. Yeah, he could have totally went after this guy, but he didn't. I don't get it. I don't care. Alright, we blew this guy up. And he just goes a pouting. And we just finish this off. Just make him even more miserable and whatnot. Okay, we're going to take him for just no apparent reason and just blow it up. And there we go. That is mission 2. It is pretty easy. Hey there, Junior. What was your partner's name again? Stop calling me Junior! I have a name, it's Andy! I don't know what kind of accent that was. Well, now, that's the spirit. Y'all new to the Orange Star Army, right? Yes, so? How'd you know that? Well, now that's 'cause I'm grid. I was beholden to Orange Star not too long ago myself, so I'm pretty familiar with most of the military types. Well, y'all beat me this time. Who knows, maybe we'll see each other again on the flip side. So long. Pfizer, you too, Junior. Stop calling me Junior! And we got an S rank out of that. A lot of power, a lot of speed, and a lot of technique. How about that? Made up for the last mission. Gosh. You get 12 coins if you get an S rank. How about that? We actually went from Gray Rat to Opal Rat. Terrible thing. Alright, we're going to save. And thank you guys for watching. This has been Advance Wars. See you next time.